I've never created one of these short video talks directly related to Kristallnacht, that particular event that happened at the start of World War II. This was in November 9th of 1938, but I think this year, in light of what's going on in the world, it's worth putting it into that context. So Kristallnacht, to the Jewish people of Germany and then Austria, wasn't a Holocaust. That word didn't yet have meaning. It was something much more familiar. They had a reference to pogroms, where on a small scale, relative to the size of the populations of cities and countries in those days, Jewish homes and shops were raided, their windows were broken, and over 100 Jewish people, just because they were Jewish, identity-based killing, murder, were killed, were murdered. So if you think about that kind of chaos that ensued and what it meant, not only for the people who were victims, not only for the people who lived around them and were destabilized because of that event, knowing that they were made vulnerable, but think about what it placed into the history of the world. I think what these events do, and what all events do, is create new vocabulary of human experience and behavior. Whenever we do something, even in the world that is our family, call it violence as an example, what we say to the family is, this is a part of our culture and our story in this family. This is possible. We make certain things legitimated, not because they're good, but because they exist. And therefore, for the generations watching, they get to see that this is part of the vocabulary of human experience. I often say that about estrangement in families, that once it's in one generation, even if the next generation doesn't want to ever see it again, they've already added it to the vocabulary of their family. This is one of the tools that we exercise. But think about the idea of broken glass as a symbol as well. Of course, there is in criminology. For the last, about 50 years, the idea of the broken glass theory that in many circles has been debunked. That was a Stanford-originated theory. And it said that essentially, if there's broken glass in your town, if windows are broken, if there's a sense of lawlessness, if there's graffiti on the walls, a sense of disorder, then more crime will exist there. Now, I'm not debating whether it's true or not. That's for other people to study and debate. What I want to say is, again, think about our own responsibility as Americans in relation to a midterm election and in relation to all of our divisive thoughts and opinions. Whatever we do, the violence of language or the physical violence that we create creates a new environment, a new reality for our society and our civilization. Politicians, people with public faces have extraordinary responsibility because what they promote by their action, by their words, by what they make possible, then becomes something possible in the realm of that society's experience. So again, a reminder, a cautionary tale for all of us to be thoughtful on this anniversary of Kristallnacht, of the glass that we break, of the chaos that we create, and of our ability to be cognizant and our responsibility to be cognizant of the kind of society that we want to live in and the kind of words and gestures that we want to form its character.